Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Married at First Sight All-Star Panel. Happy to be with you guys on this afternoon and on this evening to talk about Married at First Sight. We all have our panelists with us, and we're going to start with from my way, I'm looking at the young lady at top.
Hey y'all, hey. Wait, what we doing? I was sharing a video and got confused. What we talking about?
Married at First Sight. Married at First Sight.
Oh
And
yeah,
then we
well I
have
know we talking about
our,
man.
our resident.
Hmm?
And then we have the people at the bottom. There's a little delay on this, but we fine. Look, people at the bottom are residents.
August love story.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Well, let's get started. Let's start with this couple right here. Married at First Sight this week. Everyone met with Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal, and so this couple right here met. They always have the same issue, same discussion. That's Steve and Noy. Steve and Noy. Noy irritated me this week. She irritated me to the fullest. She irritates me every week, but she really irritated me this week. So we start with Chloe. Your thoughts on Steve and Noy?
I'm tired of them. I am sick and tired of them. Like, I really feel like at this point they really dragging this out. Right? I just feel like they dragging it out. We already know what Noy wants. We already know what Steve is giving. And it's like if y'all like for Steve to pull out a finance, like he pulled up the finance sheet and everything, like he was about to show her what was in the bank account. And I was like, seriously, we not gonna show her what's happening. We really just gonna go through how much we plan on paying for stuff. Like, it's pointless. We're not getting anywhere. We're almost at decision day and we still talking about finances. I don't know why they chose not to do the finance episode, and I think it's honestly because like people were saying something about Gail and Miller. But at the end of the day, we need that episode so this doesn't continue to happen. Like nothing about them I care about. Honestly, like I'm over it. And I knew I was over it with I didn't even post a review yet for Married at First Sight because I was just like it's the same thing over and over and over. How many times do I say, Steve, show her the check? How many times do I say, Noy, you got to just believe that this man got money? Obviously, he's been taking care of himself. Obviously, he's saying he got savings. Obviously, this, that, and other. Like, it's nothing else I can say about them at this point. Show her what's in the bank account so that they can just go on and do what it is they're going to do. Noy, if you don't want to be with this man, don't be with this man. Stop posting subliminal stuff, talking about something the moment you deserve better than you do. Well, girl, then go ahead and do that then. Go find your better. Go ahead, because I'm over it. Like, she's a child who can't communicate, and she can't ask Steve exactly what she wants. All she has to do is say, Steve, I need to know what you have in the bank account. And then Steve will say, well, this is what I have, or I'm not showing you that yet because we're not there yet. And then she can move accordingly. But because she don't know how to communicate what she needs from him, he's not giving her the right answers. You said make a plan. So he sat in front of you and made a plan about what y'all bills was going to look like. And that was what happened. And it's still not enough for her. I'm tired of her. I'm tired of her. And I'm tired of him. They both getting on my nerves, honestly. And that's it. Tired of them.
Uh, Go ahead, Tommy.
Man, I'm with you, Chloe. That like they don't really dig into things that you can actually dig into to actually figure out, if I like this person or not. Like Noy's stuck on the fact that he doesn't have a job. And it's not about him having money. It's about her having to get up every day and he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? And which if that's the case, say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I don't like the fact that you get to lay in the bed till 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I have to get up at, you know, 8 o'clock in the morning to go to work. Like you say that and this you're able to move past it. You're like really focusing on the issue. So I don't think it's like boring because it's like that's been the same issue this whole time, and it's not like it's Steve says, I like Steve's communication. You know what I'm saying? I like the way he communicates and wants to communicate with her, but she has this childish mindset of I'm gonna just go to social media. Like we did that when we was in college. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, yeah, at the time I get what you're saying. You know, the statement that you said is true. Yeah, you should look out for yourself a little bit more in certain situations, but you have that conversation with your spouse first or your significant other. And then you talk about it like he's already asked her to stop doing that. And the fact that she didn't care, like this episode, we saw that she just flat out did not care that he doesn't like that she posts things on social media like a child. She's like, and like you, I don't think she realized she's auditioning to be a wife as well. I think she's like, well, he doesn't have a job, so he don't have anything to say. So I'm with you. It's annoying. Like I'm more annoyed by Noy than I am by Steve, because at least Steve is like, these
Trying.
are things I don't like. These are things I do like. Can we work on this? Can we work on that? I don't think that he like the plan that she was trying to that she wants. I don't think that's the plan that he was given. But I do think like he needs to like, yo, this is how I'm making money. Or this is what I'm gonna just flat out tell her, like, this is what I'm doing, this is how I do it. And right now, working for somebody is not in the plans. It's I want to be creative. I want to like we're in a time where being creative gets you paid. Period. Like you can go out here and you pick flowers, you record it, somebody's gonna watch it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, let me tap into my creative side and see can I get some like earn money from that way. Therefore, like I said in our review, Steve won't be uh have PTSD from the fact that he got let go at the beginning of the what is this thing when the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? He got let go or fired because of the pandemic, and maybe he's like not wanting to go through that anymore. Like she doesn't know like why he doesn't want to work or go work for somebody, and because she never asked the question. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's what's irritating me about her and what's getting boring about her, because you can't get past that because you won't talk to him about it. So
I took some issues, of course, with Noy. I know that one of the biggest thing that she has to say is about him not having this job. And when he sat down and tried to devise a plan with her, she offered absolutely nothing. Like, first off, I don't know what kind of plan I thought they were gonna make. Well, let me take it back. I know what kind of plan I thought they were gonna make. That wasn't the type of plan that they attempted to make. Because I thought we were gonna talk about what Steve will do for money.
Right.
Um, how much money Steve can bring in, like saying, okay, I can make sure that I'm responsible for X amount of dollars monthly. And you don't have to worry about this much money. Where maybe he's like, okay, we buy a home, I can make sure that I cover the mortgage if you cover the other bills inside of the house. Whatever that looks like. But it's like we got into diapers and wipes and
they ain't even got no kids.
I was like, why are we doing this? Like, I got kids, and I don't think about like that's not part of the conversation of a financial plan, because kids are only in diapers for so long, and then you're done with that. She's annoying. And I can't say that Steve annoys me because I feel like he tries to bring up things, but he's running into a brick wall with the conversations that he's attempting to have. And for you to tell someone that you're in a relationship with, hey, I would appreciate it if you don't talk on social media about our relationship. And she's like, it's my social media. I can do what I want. I'm kind of done with this. Like, I don't see the point, because, like I said in our review, I was like, if I said something like that at this point, people would be thinking I'm talking about my daughter, not my husband. Because I don't talk about my husband in that manner on social media at all. And it's like when you think that things are wrong or you're going through something, nobody should have to stop and be like, hey, wait, Steve is with Noy. Oh, here Noy go again.
Uh-huh.
Steve, what did Steve do?
Yep.
Um, Noy just Noy talks a good game with the experts, but she's not willing to keep up any of the stuff that she's agreeing to with the experts.
You absolutely right about that. Because the same thing when she said, how about we try to 50-50? I clean, you clean, I work, you work. When she said that, and then he said, go ahead, clean the bathroom, she was like, no. The same thing with the whole Steve told her, he gave her the why behind he didn't want her to do that on social media. Because I don't want people in our business or assuming that something is going on or you're mad because of this, that, and the other. And he explained it to her and she still can't seem to comprehend. Like, I don't understand what's going on in her mind. It's like, I don't know if she was coddled or baby or whatever, but like they did her a real disservice on how the real world works and how she needs to communicate as a person.
Remember that one episode where she said we marry our spouse's childhood traumas? She's letting her childhood trauma keep her from being able to progress in a relationship.
Exactly. But I don't understand why she was willing to go travel across the world to meet somebody like she was on 90 Day Fiance. But then she got a man right here in her face showing and proving to her that he's willing to do these things and she can't seem to accept it.
It's just the way she communicates. You know, she like that was weird to me. You traveling for a guy, you know, that's like I'm like, shoot, if somebody move out the city or out the state, I'm sorry. You know, we can try this long distance thing, but you know, like I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. But it's just her communication with him and the way that she communicates because it's like by now what we've seen from Steve, she can literally say anything to Steve, and he's gonna have a conversation with her. Like it's nothing off the table where he's like, I'm not gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if something is bothering you, like this finance thing, why don't you ask him every question? Why like I don't get that from just a normal conversation with a friend. If a friend came to you, it's like, yo, I got this business idea. All right, you start asking questions. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't get that part. Like if somebody say, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur, the first thing I'm gonna ask them, what you want to do? How you gonna do that? When, what, how, why? That's a conversation right there.
She's just not interested in that aspect of it at all. And she's not going to be interested in that aspect of it at all unless she gets put in a position to have, like, it's forced upon her.
And she low key jealous. She low key jealous that he made a decision to do something that he doesn't have to get up and work a typical 9 to 5 job for. It is helping him, gain financial freedom and stability in life, the balance. And so she gets mad because she chose to work a 9 to 5. Like she has to get up every morning and go to work. Whose fault is that, baby? You could go ahead and be an entrepreneur too. But you didn't choose that. So don't be mad at him because he chose that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he chose that so he could sleep to 12 in the afternoon. Child, I wish I
Me too.
Me too. Me too. I wish I could. I think one of her problems, I think y'all said it. One of the biggest issues is she's jealous of him. That's the first thing. The second thing is that she's mad. She's mad. She's jealous. Second thing is I think Tommy, you was talking about it. She don't understand what entrepreneur life is like, so she can't get that. She don't want to understand what entrepreneurs do or how they maneuver. The third thing is she hasn't looked at it. You want 3 kids, baby, so you might have want this dude to make some money so you could be a stay-at-home mom. He's doing all he can do now, so you can stay at home later. Because somebody's gonna have to swap off somewhere if you want 3 kids. So Artika, I was like you too. When they said they're gonna do a plan, I'm like, okay, Steve about to break out the bank account numbers, all this, and show what's going on. Wrong answer. But on after party, Keisha asked on after party, Keisha asked Noy a couple weeks ago, what would make you comfortable? It was 40 grand. And so she asked Steve this week, Steve, Noy said it will be 40 grand in her bank in your bank account to make you safe. He's like, yo, she has no worries. It's not a problem. She's good, right? We'll be good, which lets me know he has more than 40 grand in his savings. So she has to be able, there has to be some kind of give and take there. She childish. I think her age difference is the biggest difference between Steve and Noy. And Steve has been, he's very mature and Noy is immature. And I don't know why they put them together.
I felt
But
like
even
the
also
thing
with that
what they
Noah
were
and
going through,
Steve
they can't
situation,
hear me.
can I hear? I can't hear you.
I can hear you started
Oh,
echoing for a little
you
bit, but
can't
I can
hear
hear you.
me.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Oh, I was saying that I felt like you when it came to Noe, when she was just sitting there, like rubbing her nose and twiddling her fingers. It was like she had no input. I'm like, you just sitting there. You wanted the information. I mean, granted, it wasn't the conversation we expected them to have, but like she didn't contribute at all. She's just sitting there looking. And I'm gonna be honest with you. It takes everybody's not made to be an entrepreneur's wife. They're just not. Unfortunately, they can't grasp the concept. And Noy is one of those people. We know somebody else that's an entrepreneur, and there was like, no, like where's your job? Where's your job? Where's the money coming from? They just can't grasp it. So I'm not gonna knock her for that, but at the same time, I want to be like, girl, understand that man don't want to go back to that 9 to 5. He saw getting let go as a blessing. Let him roll with it. And if he can tell you he got money coming in, if he can tell you he got money coming in, then be happy with that. I'm like you, Chloe, and Artika too. You talking about diapers, you talking about wipes, child care stuff. No, 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 no. Can we get past? Can we get past this stage first? And then I felt like she was throwing monkey wrenches at him, trying to trip him up. Well, I'm thinking about having a child within a year. And Steve was like, yeah, I could do that too. She was like, shoot. I thought I was going to trip him up. Dog. Okay, what else can I make up now? But yeah, I'm like you, Tommy. I love Steve and the way he communicates, and he's so open, and he can talk about anything. And Noy got a lot to say behind the scenes on social media to Sriracha, but she can't say nothing to this man. I was like, you can't operate like that in a marriage. And then if you want him to get a 9 to 5, you want him to compromise with you and get a 9 to 5, but you want to stay on social media blasting this man out, making it look like y'all have issues. That is not ever gonna work. She was so adamant. It's my social media. No, 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 no. When you're married, you gotta understand the two are one, and you can't be out there acting a donkey on social media and
Mm-hmm.
think it's not gonna reflect your husband. You had to pull. She gonna have to pull that back. You gonna have to pull that back. And I didn't like that she was just so rigid. Like, no, I'm not. I'm not. Mm-mm. So what? So what? That is not wife material, honey. She gonna have to fix that. She gonna have to fix that.
One more thing that I forgot to mention was also when they were sitting there having that conversation, Steve said to her, well, maybe you would want to take some time off work and figure things out and what you want to do. And I mean, we can budget to allow for that. And she's like, no, job. So it's like she doesn't even want to take the time for herself, even if it can be built in. She's just like, I imagined a job. The job needs to be there.
She got issues because let me tell you, the day my husband say, baby, you have go ahead, I'm out of there. Bye y'all. Peace. Adios. You ain't gonna see y'all gonna see me posting all the reviews in the whole entire world because Chloe will not be at work for all the hours she be at work. That's why I don't understand. Like, obviously, Steve knows that he can support y'all if he's giving you the opportunity to even mention about not being able to go to work. Like, that says a lot right there, right? But I do feel like noise giving me, y'all know the Tyler Perry movie Acrimony, when
Mhm.
when she was just getting resentful towards her husband, he was just trying to get that machine to work and stuff like that, and she was getting in her feelings and people was in her head, and then she done lost her good man, and now she want her good man back, and now he got all this money. That's gonna be Noy. She gonna be sick. She gonna be so sick when she realized that that man got a little coin or whatever he doing is gonna make him good money. She gonna be like, dang, I let that go away all because I needed him to have a 9 to 5. When in all actuality, when you start a business, that literally does become a 9 to 5 because you're putting all your time in your business. All your resources, all your effort goes into your business because no one else is going to do it but you. A nine to
Mhm.
five, you clock in, you clock out. When you starting a business or you're doing whatever you want to do, that takes a lot of time and energy. So she needs to just relax. She bothers me. She bothers me bad, yo. I just
Man,
be like, no way. I could slap you. I really could.
all right, Will Smith. Uh, uh,
Right.
I was gonna say one more thing. This issue of finances speaks to the idea of Noi when she doesn't want to be in a certain place with finances, right? She doesn't want to run out of finances. And it's really interesting to see that she doesn't understand entrepreneurship in a sense of you've been poor before. Like I grew up with a lack of money, but once you sit down and really look at people that actually make money, it's a lot of business owners. Like, yeah, they work harder, but they also have a bigger payout. And so that's the weird thing. It's like it tells me two things. One, she really doesn't understand finances. That's one thing. And two, she doesn't like know how to communicate, hey, I was poor, I don't want to be poor anymore. Can you give me, and I think that's what, who did she talk to? What expert did she talk to?
Pastor
Pastor Kyle. And
Kyle.
I think that's what her and Pastor Kyle was leaning towards, like wanting security and wanting to be secure in finances. But it's like you don't even know how to communicate. Hey, I don't want to be poor. And with adding more people to our family, with adding you to my family, it's like it's gonna take more for us to actually succeed in the lifestyle that we want. And they haven't even talked about the lifestyle that they actually want. So that's another conversation for them to have. But I just think it speaks to a lot of uh the trauma she had growing up without, and I think that needs to be addressed um between her and Steve.
Now she gotta fix. She has
Like
to
she has
realize
to,
that it exists
right?
first.
Yeah, she has some things on through her that she needs to realize, but also be willing to have that conversation with him because, man, that's an extension of you. As your spouse, that's a extension of you. So
They needed to
Yeah.
break
Also, Steve
her down.
doesn't. Right. They need to break it down. Plus, Steve doesn't know how to be poor. I mean, he's been able to manage his money too. You know what I'm saying? So being poor is not nothing on his scheme. He know how to manage his money. To have a bank account, to go without working for 4 months, still have a car payment, still have an apartment, still have
mhm.
things. That means he manages money. And what she doesn't understand is too. She's never heard the word residual income. Right? If you break some of the richest people down in the world, while they using the bathroom, they're making money. While they
Mhm.
sleep, they're making money. While they're at the grocery store, is making money. If this man has made some apps and developed some apps, which on iTunes and on Google Play and on the Apple Store, guess what? He's making money while he's on this show, and he doesn't have to go to a 9 to 5. And so that's what she doesn't understand. When you work hard or you put all this time in the back end, it's rewarding on the front end of it. We know all the videos we'll put in, the editing. People see the finished product. They don't know how long it took us to edit it. Don't took how long it took you to cut things up and what that, and you see the finished product. So she doesn't understand what a finished product is when it becomes the entrepreneur. So she struggles with that, and he needs to teach her in order for them to move on. But let's go to this couple here. This couple still surprising me. This it's been 3 weeks in a row, and I'm still feeling them. I don't think they're gonna stay married, but I'm still feeling them. And that's Michael and Jasmina. Michael and Jasmina. We'll start with August love story. What are your thoughts on Michael and Jasmina this week? Michael met with Pastor Cal, and Jasmina met with Dr. Pepper. Um, so we start with you, August love story.
um, yeah, I'm with you, man. They looking good, man. I think they're gonna stick it out. I think for sure, guaranteed they stick it out is if they have sex before the decision day. They'll stick. They have sex and it was good. It was decent. It wasn't what was the dude? It wasn't any lazy doodle. So if they do that, that's a guarantee. Right now I'm like a maybe 80-20, that they stick it out. But I said in our review, Mike don't have any game. Like the thing that bothered me the most about this whole episode was that she was like, he touches me and I feel nothing. I was like, man, that's tough to even just hear. Like, you don't feel me touching you at all, period, nothing. You don't have anything deep down in your heart. Even as friends, like when I give hugs, it's like, yeah, man, I love you, you know? And she has none of that. It's like, Mike, you just have to, rub on her booty a little bit and see what she like that. Like, do something. Kiss her on the cheek, forehead. Do something. Kiss her on the hand. Like, do something, do something, what I'm saying, just to show that you like her, in some manner. And I feel like the chase is on at this point, and I think he's been doing a lot, just by simply having the conversation. They was talking about they text each other, have conversations with each other and stuff like that. But it's like, okay, she tells you she feels nothing when you touch her. It's like, why? Why don't you feel anything? They talk so much about the intimacy, the feeling inside of them, I guess. I'm like, okay, so he's friend zone, so you really got to work out of this friend zone. So it's like, how do you do that? But you got to prove to her that you like her. Like, yo, I like you. Like, this is what I want to do. Start talking about the future things and stuff like that, and it gets the mindset to look at things different. But I stand on the fact that I don't think Mike has any game, so he don't really know how to chase. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the biggest problem that he has. He don't really know how to chase, and Jasmina doesn't really, like, she wants him to chase her, but she don't know how. Like, she wants him to chase her, but she know whatever it is that he's doing. Yeah, he's making strides, and it looks good, and I like it what he's doing, but he's not doing enough because I want you to do more or something like that. But I don't know. I like them though. I smile when I see them together. So
I agree with the last few weeks have made me feel like they are better, but I still don't think that they're going to say yes on decision day. She'll use something about not knowing what happened when he was in third grade as the reason that she doesn't want to be with him. Um, Jasmina is definitely a person who you can tell puts you at arm's length, and Michael doesn't know how to overcome the arm's length part of Jasmina. I honestly don't know what else he could do. I don't know what else he could try. I At this point I feel like she has to try because he can't make her feel anything. She has to have the feelings there inside of her. Like, and then it's only 2 weeks left. And if at the 6 week mark and all we have is 8 weeks to go, and I don't feel anything, you're unsure of all of this, it's easy to just be like, we're done. We don't have to stay married. We don't even have to get to know each other. I mean, they might call each other on, like, random, remember that one time moments, but I honestly don't think that their relationship's going to be much more than, remember that one time we were married at first sight and we were married to each other? That's pretty much going to be it. Like, I do appreciate though that we're not arguing about dumb stuff for the last couple of weeks. Like, I
mm-hmm.
can appreciate that fact because it's so much more of an enjoyable experience when there are real issues and you're overcoming them rather than, I don't like your tone, you cut me off, and then we still have no resolve for the tone or the cutoff. That's all I got.
Now,
Chloe.
um, So here's the thing, right? Michael and Jasmine, I really feel like they have potential and they miss a lot of opportunities. But I also feel like that's part of Jasmina's fault because Jasmina has scared Michael to death to even do anything to her because when she called him aggressive, said he had a tone and all this other stuff, it kind of put him on edge as a man because like if she can go as far as to say I was being aggressive and all this other stuff when I wasn't even doing that, I don't want to put myself in a position where she can take anything and blow it out of the water although they are getting better. Like even before when Pastor he was telling Pastor Cal that he had stopped I guess she had stopped kissing him or something like that because she he didn't want her to feel like she was being forced to do it or she had to do it because it's his wife. And I agree with that because Michael probably was getting to the point where he didn't want to feel like he was pressuring this girl at no point or any time in any way to make her feel uncomfortable. Although she was doing it because she felt like it, he also let her know like you don't have to. If she felt like she didn't have to, she would have never stopped. She would have never stopped. And for her to say that she doesn't feel anything when he touches her or whatever, it's because it's not the touch that she's looking for. She doesn't, she's looking, okay, it's like this. Michael does need to do something as a man to woo her, right? So maybe he should start with a foot rub. Where it's not so in general access to everything, right? Maybe start with a foot rub, or maybe put some music on, like set the mood, like dance in front of the TV to some slow jams or something, like you know what I mean, like just to get the mood right, I should say. But like you said, that has to be something that she wants because as women, we have to be mentally stimulated to a certain extent for us to get there. I have a weird sense of smell. So my husband spilled barbecue sauce in my room and he cleaned it up, but the smell was so intense to me, like I could not take it. Like it was bothering me. So like even when we were trying to get intimate, I'm just like, oh, I can't. Like it just smelled bad. And it had nothing to do with him. It just had everything to do with the way your body responds to certain things that surround you. So I think that she's so out of touch with everything that they are going through as far as like building a real genuine connection, trying to see if this is going to work, being open to open to him, even trying to pursue her. She's not going to be there no matter what. She's not feeling it because she don't want to. It's that simple. Because you could look at somebody on TV and be like, ooh, 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 she's so excited about this man's arm. So why him put his arms around you don't make you feel some type of way? You know what I mean? So I think it's literally just her. He may need to try to do something to smooth her into it, but she messed up when she made him come off as if he was being something he wasn't. And so now she has to put in that effort too, because you can no longer get courted after you accuse someone of being something they wasn't. That's how I see it.
I mean, I totally agree with you. I think the biggest issue is that I just think she just does not like him, or she just be bouncing back and forth. Remember when they did the tantric yoga? Because when she definitely did the tantric yoga, she was all feeling them. She like, oh, this is good. My heart beating. So to me, the tantric yoga should have took y'all to another level. The tantric yoga should have took you to the part where you was liking him and you was feeling him and you want him all over you. I totally agree with your point about her making Michael feel uncomfortable with the aggression statement, because he doesn't want to come off that way. Because as soon as she says stop, I don't like that. Oh, he's touching me when I don't want to be touched, you know. And so it gives another dynamic, and nobody wants that on television, right? Because you got millions of people watching, everybody voice their opinion or their concern. And so he is at that point. With her kissing him, to me, I think Pastor Cal was kind of right on that. He should have never. I know he should have kept her, letting her keep kissing him, and see where that goes. If she was doing it out of obligation, and even I think it would have grew to something else. But if she's initiating it, she can't say you being aggressive because she's the one kissing you. So I mean, and from that standpoint, go ahead and let her keep kissing you, and then see where it goes. But you gave some good ideas, Chloe. Dancing together, listening to slow jams, put on some favorite songs, do something where it creates. At this point, my man Mike, we got what 3 weeks left, or 2 or 3 weeks left, bruh. You need to go. He need to go all out. There's nothing. Don't leave nothing on the table. All chips are in. You know what? I'm betting on me. If it doesn't work, if I start rubbing the feet and I go up the leg and she don't tell me to stop, I'm keep going until she tell me to stop. But at this point, all systems
Right.
on go if you're Michael. to get some kind of love and some kind of affection. And Jasmina does not show him anything. She doesn't give anything back. She is like stone faced. She doesn't give nothing back. She didn't even answer my man's question or Dr. Pepper's question, like, what would it take for you to finish this or continue this? She blew off. She gave some kind of, you know, short answer, but it wasn't like the answer to the question where, yeah, I can see us finish, or everything has to be 100% for her, and
Mm-hmm.
everything's not 100% because you guys missed 4 weeks, so it's not going to be at 100%. It's not going to be perfect, but is it salvageable for you to work on perfect towards the end? And after you say, if you say yes on decision day, she has to do something for Michael. I need to see her pull something out for Michael. Michael has pulled everything out for her. Look at anniversary day or a month anniversary. Look at he's cooking. Look at all the stuff he's done. She hasn't done anything, and so you can't feel nothing if you're not doing anything. You can't feel love if you're not showing love to the person. If you're not showing compassion to the person, if you're not showing any affection, how can you feel something when they give it back? Because you don't understand what it feels like because you don't give it.
Yeah. Only thing I want to say too is just add, um, Pastor Cal told Michael the same thing as his wise sister Claire said. She was like, "Do something. You have to do a little bit. Brush up against her while y'all cooking. Just hold her hand a little bit. He gonna have to do something, to initiate that." But I agree. She came off so rough on him at the beginning. He's scared to say anything, to touch her. But the other thing is, I'm like, again, what are you giving though, Jasmine? I feel like she needs to like motivate herself. Maybe she need to say, "Let me try to hold his hand, so that way he'll know he can hold my hand. Let me brush up against him. Let me bump up against him." You know, he shouldn't have stopped her from kissing him every night. That was dumb. I'm like Pastor Cal, that was dumb. You shouldn't have did that. You should have kept letting her do it, because if she was doing it in the first place, again, it had to be some kind of like there. Like, I'm not just kissing somebody just to kiss them. She had to feel like she wanted to kiss him. You know what I mean? So, but the other thing is, she wants so much from Michael, and I don't see her giving anything. You want to know his birth story up to now, and what are you giving? You know what I mean? You didn't give it all at the beginning. You got some more to give. What are you giving? You want to know all his business. I want to get why is he like this? Where did he come from? Where were his parents when they made him? Stupid stuff like
Uh-huh.
that. Like, come on, girl. I, I don't see her giving nothing, and that is just not gonna work. That's not gonna work. I'm like Tommy. I feel like when I saw them this week, I was like, yes, yes, yes. But I feel like they're gonna let me down. But still, yes.
But that's a good point, right? We don't know much about. We know about Jasmine because we saw like the matchmaking special and stuff like that. But I also feel like Michael doesn't even know what he's fighting to get to. He doesn't know what his fight is. He doesn't know what he has to break down, what walls, what boundaries he needs to cross over to get through to her, because she's been abandoned. So he doesn't know that she needs someone to, yeah, twice. He doesn't know that she needs to feel secure. She needs to feel safe. This is why she takes certain things and make it seem like it's bigger than what it is. He doesn't know what he's up against. He doesn't know what he's fighting to get to. And so he's just like out here trying stuff, trying to see what's happening, and ain't nothing happening. And he's stuck. It's kind of like once you know someone's backstory, then you can know how to be vulnerable with them. You know how to get through to them. You know what they need from you. But because he doesn't know any of that about this girl, it's hard for him to even know where to start because he don't know what he's up against. And it's her fault. Like you said, she wants to know everything about this man, and she doesn't give anything in return. When Michael was asking her those questions back, well, he was telling her the questions that he had, she literally just turned it around and said, "Oh my God, I had the same question." It was like, duh, 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 and then Michael would answer. She never answered the question. She literally threw the questions back at him. And I was like, we ain't gonna know nothing about Jasmine except for what she told us in the matchmaking special, and that's it, and that's all, okay? And that's the end. But I don't know. I want to see them make it because I feel like they could. because I feel like Michael is very gentle and she needs someone gentle with her. And I think he will actually, like, treat her like the delicate flower she is, and to help bring some of them walls down, make her softer, more personable, warm, and more womanly, soft. But she won't let him, and she won't tell him what she needs from him to even for him to even try to do it. So they ain't gonna make it, and that's that.
I think he showed, talk about when he showed her how to drive and the patience and stuff like that. He showed her patience. He showed her driving. He showed her the love and the compassion that she needed. And she was grateful, but her gratefulness is not the affection, And he may need to tell her, look, affectionately, I need you to do this, this, and this. Affectionately, I need to. At this point, like I said, he needs all chips in. Lay a list out what you need, Michael. All she can do is say yes or no, right? We know she got some abandonment issues. Just write it down. Look, I need this, this, and this. You tell me what you need for these next 2 weeks. Let's commit to giving each other what we need so we can make a conscious decision on this decision day. And I think they do that, they have a chance to be successful. You know, have a chance. But let's go to this couple. I want to save the major train wreck for the end. And that's it. Let's go to Olajuwon and Katina. They're not the major train wreck. Lindsey and Mark is, but Olajuwon and Katina. Olajuwon, in this case, I kind of sided with Olajuwon a little bit when it came to Dr. Pepper. I'm gonna tell you why I sided with Olajuwon when it came to Dr. Pepper. I agree. I agree with Olajuwon because the fact is you're dealing with something that's old. You're dealing with something that's old. Even with the cooking issue, I think was old because if you watch, I know I see you shaking your head, but if you go to the after party, he said his mama told him to leave her alone about the cooking issue and to stop talking bad about the cooking issue. And so he fixed that. Now I disagree with him the way he talked to her about the app. I disagree with the way that he's been belittling her. But at the same time, Dr. Pepper, I need help from where I'm at right now. Help me for where we at now. I know what you heard, and so more so, it was not really toward a lot of his actions wasn't toward Dr. Pepper more so than it was production. I think production is who he really was mad at. Like, how dare y'all go back and start snitching on me, right? How dare you go back and start telling all the things that I did or have done, and y'all didn't even see the fact that we addressed the issue or we fixed the issue that goes on in our marriage. That's the only part I don't agree with the abusiveness. He is passionate. I think he does love the young lady, but he doesn't know how to be a husband, and that's the thing. That's the difference. He doesn't know how to be a husband when it comes to Katina. He doesn't know her wants, her needs, and what they're not showing us on TV or the quiet talks that they have. I think she's, and talk about living on eggshells, she is kind of scared, but I think what's what I'm looking for? She is used to those relationships, so she's now just giving in. She's giving into Olajuwon. She's giving into the way that he deals with her. He's giving in the way that she talks to her. Because if you look at Katina, she never really speaks for herself. And so what he has, we talked about a couple weeks ago. I think he's broken her down, and she's in the mindset of saying, you know what, this is what I have in life. This is where I'm going to be at. I do love him. I do want him. He cares about me, but she has not set up. She has not set the rules of engagement or the rules of regulation towards Olajuwon. Because I think if you do that with Olajuwon, and you say, this is how I will, if she stands up to him, this is what I will tolerate, this is what I won't tolerate, this is what I will do, this is what I won't do, and you cannot, will not, should never do that again. And be truthful. Next time he yell at you, I'm gone. Next time he raises, or he says something that you don't like, you know what? We're going to counsel. I think he has to lay, because a person with ADHD, he doesn't know boundaries. And so she hasn't laid the boundaries or the foundation down to him. And so once she lays the boundaries and lay routine down to Olajuwon, I think he will be better. But we never see Katina do that. And do that on television, because he said they do it outside of TV. Um, and so again, I think Olajuwon needs some help. Dr. Pepper should have worked on more issues with Olajuwon, more so than the situation that she did. I was talking about stuff that happened in week 1 and week 2, because in his mind, it's fixed, it's done with, and I haven't done it again. And that's the way I looked at it. Like, okay, it's fixed. The cooking thing is over with. We're working together. I'm said I was sorry to her and us and to you over the app situation. That shouldn't happen again. And other than those two situations, the dude has been kind of respectful for the most part to his wife. Just my opinion. Y'all thoughts?
Is my go? My go? Now, this is the thing. I feel like now I'm gonna have to disagree with Dr. Pepper, what you said about Dr. Pepper, because the reason why I say that is because you can say, yeah, he hasn't really been doing that. And it's because she's breaking her back to not cause him to do anything. See, with the moment she decides, oh, I don't feel like cooking tonight, the moment she decides that she's not going to bend over backwards and have a movie night for Olajuwon and make tacos and do this, then that, and other, he's going to revert back to the same Olajuwon that he was. So because it has never been fixed, see, he didn't have to change how he fixed the talking to her. He didn't have to change how he responds in situations because she's just automatically took it for what it was and did and just said, I'm gonna do what you say do. She's literally looking like an abused woman sitting up here on Married at First Sight. It's disgusting. Um, Olajuwon, the way he was being very disrespectful, the fact that he don't have basic comprehension skills bothers the crap out of me. Okay, when we were sitting, when Dr. Pepper was trying to get him to understand, like, this is what I am seeing, this is what we are seeing, this is what people are saying, talking about production and everything like that. He really took that so personal, as if the cast was talking about him and people saying this about us. Like, he was amped up because he felt as though she was saying people were saying things about you. He wasn't understanding that this is the actions. He didn't even, it took him all the way to the end to even realize that he was saying nasty things to her. When he was like, well, I did say that. Yeah, because you're going in defense mode and you're not listening. The same thing he does with Katina, like the same thing with the phone. Give me the phone. Oh my God. Da-da-da-da-da. Like you so stuck in this one track mind, you can't even understand what's happening. You won't let her explain the same way he wouldn't let Dr. Pepper explain. Oh, she's bringing negativity. She's bringing negativity. But how is she bringing negativity? It's only negative if you make it negative. This is what happened in the past. How did you guys fix this? She said, I have a problem with the way that you have talked to her and did things to her. And instead of him saying, you're absolutely right, I was trash for doing that, I realized that learning along the way that I had to watch how I talked to her. I had to be careful how I handled her. And now we're moving forward. He didn't do that. So that's where the problem comes in, because now it's like, we're not having a conversation. What you basically trying to do is tell me, the expert, that I don't know what I'm talking about and I don't know what I'm seeing. And that's not what happened. So when he sat there and tried to make this whole thing talking about, he thought he was about to get into it with the castmates when they all was sitting there, because the he said, she said, and I'm not dealing with that. Not knowing that Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper was in the back. See, if he really felt like Dr. Pepper wasn't helping him, or she wasn't right about what she said, he would have stood on his ground when they came out and said, this is why I felt like this. This is how I felt. But he's not man enough, and he don't respect women enough to even give her the decency to give her a conversation about why he felt the way he felt. Instead, he got quiet and wanted to put his head down and be a mouse. And it's because Pastor Kyle was there. If Pastor Kyle wasn't there, he probably would have tried it. I'm sure he would have tried it. Okay. And that's the thing. Because everyone's tiptoeing around Olajuwon instead of giving it to him straight. That's why I was sitting there like, come on, Dr. Pepper, don't back down. Do not back down for him. Get him to see what you're talking about, because it took him all the way to the end to say, oh yeah, I did say that stuff. So yeah, you did call your wife lazy. So yeah, you did question her womanhood. So yeah, you did belittle her. Yeah, you was being rude to her. Yeah, you were being disrespectful to her. If you would have just listened to the conversation and took the advice for what it was and not been defensive, then you would completely understand. And that's what he does with Katina. Katina has no voice when it comes to Olajuwon because he won't let her talk. And if she does talk, he gets combative, he gets defensive, because he feels like he's being attacked. When in all actuality, no one loses when we both trying to win. No one wins when we both trying to win. Like, he just don't want to be a loser. And that's why she's sitting there, can't open her. She has not opened her mouth the whole scene. She's literally just sitting there like, He was like, oh, if she feels it. When I told her what Dr. Pepper said, she just laughed. Ha, 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 right? Ha, ha, ha. Like, yeah, she just laughed because she's scared to say something to you. Because God forbid she really say that you called her lazy. Child, y'all gonna be fighting all night and she don't want to deal with that. Like, it makes sense. I just don't understand Olajuwon's like his thought process, and it bothers me because as a man who wants like this whole I care about her so I care about her so much, I'm so passionate, it's bull. Because if you care about her so much, then you would care about her needs, wants, and concerns. And if you cared about her so much, you would be more intimate with her. If you cared about her so much, you wouldn't talk to her the way you do. That's not how you care for someone. So he sugarcoats this with I care about her so much. No, you can't. You can't, because that's not how you treat people you care about. And if that is how you treat people you care about, I feel bad for the people you care about. So that's how I'm just like, that's how he smooths it over. It's the manipulation of it all. Because I'm so passionate and I care about her so much. This is why I get so intense. No, 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 no. Especially when she's not even doing nothing crazy. I could see if she was out here, like, you found out she was a stripper or something. You didn't know all this time, or you found out she cheated on you or something. And you were so upset. I can understand all that, but what has Katina really done that caused this man to go off and say the things and do the things and respond the way he does? Nothing, because she doesn't have what he would consider basic life skills as far as cooking dinner and sweeping the floor. Okay, that's things that she will develop and learn, and she's trying. So all the things that he said is not warm for, and the way he acts is not warm for. The girl can't even speak for herself. I feel bad because that's how she gonna end up being the whole marriage, just scared to talk, scared to speak her mind. He says she do it in public, but I'm sure it's not the way that we think she would be saying it, because he won't give her the I'm sure that the conversation doesn't end well between them. It's probably her just saying what she feels, and then he goes off, and then she goes, well, I'm sorry, and now they're good again. And that's it. And I'm done with Olajuwon.
Um, Completely agree with you, Chloe. I feel like Dr. Pepper had to say something. I don't care if it's like right after their wedding. This is the first time Dr. Pepper like got a chance to sit down and talk with him. So she has to like, because when we saw it, everybody was like, "What did this man just say to her?" You know what I'm saying? Like the disrespect that this man showed this girl. Like if I was an expert and it was at decision day, I would say, you remember 2 weeks into the thing, you said this one, you can't say that to people. I don't care. Like you have to, like as an expert on the show, you have to address that. And if you don't, you're not doing a service. Like you would be doing a disservice to both of them without saying that. Now, the way he took it, like that's a, that's a on him type of deal, but he took it poorly. You can't really criticize him and he's gonna take it well. That's the sad part about Olajuwon. But like in this whole, well, however many 6 weeks that we've been like they've been married, Katina has disappeared. This is the Olajuwon show, and it's starring Olajuwon and Isaac, and Katina makes her appearances. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for her to even have a voice in this marriage. And I think the conversation to I didn't like the way he talked about Dr. Pepper, like saying 90% of it was a waste, and she didn't help him out or anything like that. You wasn't listening to what she was saying.
He said that as someone that is going to rile up the masses about what somebody just said about him, not knowing that the person was there to defend themselves. And it's gonna come out and be like, "What you say?" Because when she came out, he had nothing to say.
I really appreciate Dr. Pepper like addressing him first, like what you're not gonna do. But it's like their conversation. He wasn't listening. He got sidetracked from the jump when she brought that up. Yeah, it was beginning of their relationship. Like they've worked through things, but have they really? Because it's like the dating thing happened just a week or two before, like a week before they sat down with each other. So it's like you really haven't. It's like if you get angry, you get loose lips. And the thing is, she's trying to protect him as far as to say, don't say anything that you will regret. You know what I'm saying? Because you can only apologize for so much before it's like, I can't get with that. I can't forgive you for what you said. You know what I'm saying? So I think Dr. Pepper was completely right. I think Olajuwon needs to learn to take constructive criticism and grow from it. Like you want, like you're not perfect in a marriage. Like your relationship with Katina is not perfect. Um, you can't cook. You know what I'm saying? So all these things, and you were like, that was the thing that bothered me too. But when they was talking about ribs, I was like, wait a minute, man. Like I love me some ribs, and you like it's like, bruh, like you asking her to cook them, knowing she don't know how to cook.
And only three ingredients we named was salt, pepper, and barbecue sauce.
Come
And then
on,
he didn't
man,
even
you
hear the
don't know how to
barbecue
cook
sauce.
ribs.
Huh?
He didn't even hear her say the barbecue sauce because she said it. He was like, in the
She
barbecue
did.
sauce, because he don't listen to her.
He doesn't. You are absolutely right. And that's what I was
Right.
actually going to
Can't even
get
tell
at
it.
was
Can't
he.
even tell it. You got to clean that off, man. You got to clean it.
Right. Take the membrane off the back. It's like it's a process,
Cause
man.
he don't know. That was actually one of the things that I was gonna say was he's saying that all of these things in the past, like happened in the past, and we have to remember that we're only 6 weeks into this. There's only so much past behind
Right.
us. Like you can't stop doing things at the week 3 mark and then be like, "Oh, by the way, I've changed." Have you really? Or are you just being really good at being a representative for these 3 weeks? And he hasn't even been doing a good job at that. And that's what I was going to bring up was the rib conversation
Go ahead.
because
Go ahead.
she was talking about, you got to season it up, and she was talking about everything. He was like, "Well, what kind of seasonings? You don't even have a clue. You have no clue what to put on these ribs. Like I'm the novice at ribs in this household, but I know that you didn't have a clue what to put on ribs, and that's okay." But stop acting like you know more than her when both of y'all on level playing field and neither one of y'all can cook.
Like that's the thing that bothers me the most. It's like this cooking thing was like he must be master chef or something, man. But it comes to find out that he can't cook. Like it's certain things that I can't cook that she cooks better than me, but I know like I know my way around the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? So it's like how is this a requirement for you, but you're requiring somebody to do something that you're not able to do. That's bad leadership in my book. It's terrible leadership. If you're not able or willing to do, how are you requiring somebody else to do that? Terrible leadership there. And it's like, why would she even like? It's sad to see Katina in every like couple relationship because she looks so small in their relationship, and it's like even with her, I'm always asking, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? How do I support you? Is it this you want to do? Is it that you want to do? But she has a voice and an opinion, and it matters. For Katina, you can tell it doesn't matter to him. Like she can say, "Hey, I want to go right." He say, "We're not going to leave until Thursday, and we're only going left." You know, and she just be like, "Okay." Like that's the sad part about it, man. It's hard to watch it because it's like for us it's abuse. For her it's just regular life. That's how
This
relationships
is
are.
just how he is. It's been, what do we say, 6 weeks?
Yeah.
6 weeks of her basically just like, look, I just got to get him to shut up. He's got the Lindsey spirit on, I won't shut up. And I get it. Sometimes you just don't say anything so that a person can like get it all out and maybe they'll just shut up so you don't have to hear them. But that should not have to be an everyday occurrence in your household. Like I do want him to just find his quiet. Like instead of finding his voice, he needs to find his quiet and let her find her voice because his quiet would help everybody around him out so much better if he would just be quiet. And he was talking about his mom on the after party, saying, his mom told him to shut up because you can't expect her to make things that you don't know how to make. You have to also remember that that was filmed after everything was done. So his mama finally told him to shut up. However many weeks in, we know it wasn't at the 6 week mark though, because that morning, grocery shopping, he was starting about some seasoning that he don't know nothing about. I'm not gonna get over this season.
Look, I got offended a little bit too, man. Like Like I like ribs. Like I know how to cook
It's
them
a
every
person.
which way you want to cook them. I know how to cook them. And it's like, man, you just come on, man. Like it's golly, man. It was like, and the crazy, and okay, this is the last thing. I'm gonna let it go because the real part messed me up. It's like, man, why would you not want them grilled, smoked, or fried?
Put it in
Like
an apartment.
I'm saying, like I was in an apartment
Okay,
and I
everybody's not you. Let me tell y'all a
You
quick
get the
story.
home
Tommy
grill.
in his grill. Tommy bought a for real, well, charcoal like smoker. Like this thing is massive. We can cook for the whole neighborhood on this thing. And he used to drag it in and out off of the balcony of our apartment complex because he was gonna grill for real until we
right,
bought a house.
Period.
right, up and down steps, around the corner, 50 feet. What they give 50 feet away from the building. Like I used to do my thing, you know
I
what
know
I'm
that's
saying? But
great.
it's like, man, how you act? Oh, we got ribs. How you gonna make them? First off, you don't make ribs. That's the first mistake. You don't make ribs. You smoke them bad boys. You know, like it's. I got so
I
offended
want some
by it.
ribs when you cook them. I'm just saying.
I
Okay.
got you, man. I got you.
That's like we have a running joke with some of our friends that Tommy's always like, whatever milestone it is, he gonna go throw something on the grill. So it'd be like the baby took her first steps, we're gonna throw some ribs on the grill. Like he is that person. Don't ask him about grilling because that's a good time for him.
Yeah, yeah.
But again, I do think that Olajuwon needs to find his quiet and Katina needs to find her voice. And if they can find their quiet and their voice, I'm not saying it's gonna work out, but it would have a better chance of working out.
Um, I agree with everything y'all said. I agree with everything y'all said. I didn't like how he went off on Dr. Pepper. I agree. When she walked out there, that joker tightened up. You was talking all that trash before she came out here. I'm gonna need you to talk that same trash. That was useless, Dr. Pepper. I didn't like. He didn't say none of that. He was like, "Oops," when she walked out. And I agree. You might be past it. You really not. He's saying they are. You're not. But she wouldn't be any kind of expert if she didn't bring it up. That's what she's there for. She have to bring it up. Um, I, I really want Katina to find her voice, but this is her mo. You know what I'm saying? This is her pattern. I don't. She said I've been in an abusive relationship. What's gonna make her do different now? Like I think I said this the last time, or I might have said it on our review. She's gonna need somebody to kick it into her, and to show her what to do, because she doesn't know how to do it herself. Olajuwon, he's just a mess. I felt the same way, Tommy. When all they talked about was salt and pepper on them ribs, I was like, you ought to be shot. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Salt and pepper? What? You do more than salt and pepper on ribs. What are you doing? I was disgusted. I said I would never eat those ribs. But I just agree with everything y'all said. I don't really have anything else to add. It's just Olajuwon's getting on my nerves, and I just really want Katina to stand up, but I don't see her doing it unless she's got some unless she's empowered to do, unless she has the tools to do it. Somebody said in the chat she needs therapy. She does, but she needs some coaching. She don't just need therapy. She needs some coaching too, to help her. Hey, try this, do that, and put that in place. But I don't really have anything else for them.
Let me clarify my statement. My statement, not that I agreed with Elijah Warren, but I understood where he was coming from. I just wanted to clarify. Hold on. I just wanted to clarify my statement here. I again, I didn't agree with him, but I knew where he was coming from his mindset, because his mind is one track. So I knew where he was coming from. Like, look, I'm done, because in his mind, when you're dealing with somebody who thinks they know it all, when they're finished with a certain topic or subject, they're finished with that subject and then that topic. And anytime you bring it back up, he's going to be upset, and that's his mindset. So he's done with that. Once he said it was fixed, or he says his apologies, in his mind, he's done. There's nothing else. There's nothing else that needs to be said about it. And so that's the way he's thinking about it. Not right, but I do agree. Katina needs some therapy. She does need a voice. If you go back to the scene where he's standing beside her and he's talking, she looks like she's a whoop puppy. She looks she looks bad. Maybe it's the cameras. Maybe the relationship get better when the cameras go away. I don't know. A lot of people think it's gonna get worse when the cameras go away. Um, it could get better. I tell you one thing: if Katina had some brothers, Olajuwon may not be going. My man may not be saying what he's saying. The cookout is gonna be a little bit. The cookout with those ribs. If she had some brothers, it would be real different. The cookout would be real different if Katina had some brothers, right? It won't be the same. And so they really need some help and some work out on that issue. And hopefully they can get the help they need. I wish that to me, I know everybody said Dr. Pepper. I wish that Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper both would address Elijah one together because he needs both of them to be there and not just one. I think when they do one expert, he needs both of them to be there to address him because again, he respected the coach. If you look at it, he respected his coach more than he respected Dr. Pepper or Pastor Cal, and he needs that right. But he needs that people. He needs people to be on him a lot. So
But I also think that's why they put him with
yeah,
with Dr. Pepper. I think they put him with Dr. Pepper because when he gets in front of Pastor Cal, he sugarcoats and he doesn't go. He's not straight up with him. He only did that because Dr. Pepper is a woman, in my opinion. Okay, because I feel like we've seen Pastor Cal address certain stuff and he tried to downplay it and make it seem like it's not what it is. And then when he talks to Dr. Viviana and the way he talked to Dr. Pepper is not the same way he talked to Pastor Cal. You know what I mean? So I feel like they intentionally put him with Dr. Pepper because for one, Dr. Pepper's not going to back down from him, but she's also going to be able to get him to show his true colors and his true side of how he really feel about a situation. Because I promise you, if that was Pastor Cal saying the same exact thing that Dr. Pepper said, he would not have started acting like that, and he definitely would not have talked to Pastor Cal that way. So I feel like it was intentional move that we needed to have by having Dr. Pepper there. That's why as soon as Pastor Cal came out with Dr. Pepper, that's why he was more shocked than anything because he knew at that moment, oh, Pastor Cal here too. Shoot. I can't say all that stuff I said when I was talking Dr. Pepper. I can't because I'm sure he would have tried it because he already tried it. He wasn't scared before. So I think that when it came, I think he just don't respect women, and it's sad. It's so sad because like after I saw him manipulate Dr. Viviana and try to buck up at Dr. Pepper and be disrespectful, it's very apparent that this is just his thing. It's not a one-time situation. It's not a mishap. It's not a I made a mistake. This is literally his thing, and that's the part that bothers me about it because it's not like like oh I just had a moment. It's ongoing situation. I don't know.
no, you're right. It goes to every aspect of his thinking. If you go back to like his 1950 thinking of cooking and cleaning and taking care of house, he believes in his mind. He believes women are beneath him, and that's what he believes. He can't believe a woman can be on the same level or even higher. He believes that a woman is beneath him, and they only can certain places they can go. That's the way he comes off. That's the way he comes off. Um, let's move to this train wreck right here. And I'm gonna call it a train wreck because it truly is a train wreck. Let's start with August love story. Your thoughts on Mark and Lindsay?
Um, man, they just a lot, man. Like it's like you your heart goes out to Mark, but then sitting down listening to Lindsay's story, it's like that makes sense now. But it's like you have to change. You need to do something like you need therapy. You need to go talk to somebody about that because that's you're not gonna make it with that, man. I'm surprised that she has friends that like actually want to hang with her. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's like you're not gonna agree with a person 100% of the time. Shit, just today we all like we agreed and disagreed about something today, but it's not like we get mad at the fact that somebody disagreed with us. You know what I'm saying? And she said she's sad all the time. And then for them to realize when she gets sad, she's angry, and that anger comes out as a I'm going to go for the juggler. You know, I'm taking my kill shot every time. Like that's something's wrong. You know, something is extremely wrong there, and I don't know how you can expect a relationship to work with that type of mindset. Every time we disagree or every time we argue about something, I'm taking a kill shot at you. You know, and for him, it's he's quieting his voice and he's going into his shell only to be like, oh, but you're not basically, like, I felt like she was basically saying you're not arguing with me correctly. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing this correctly when he's trying not to argue. And it's like he can't be himself because he's just like I don't want to argue with her, so I'm gonna cover my eyes. You know, type of deal. And it's like it's sad to see because it's like he know I feel like he knows that he don't want to be with her and he's going through a lot of stuff outside of this relationship and she's like adding hot sauce to something that's already hot and it ain't fair to him the way that she treats him, but also it's like, bro, y'all got some stuff that y'all need to work through, and being in this relationship is not the place that you need to be.
Because they both have mom issues,
Yeah.
and that's the beginning of really everything. Is that they both have mommy issues, and it didn't even hit Mark that he had mommy issues until he was sitting down with Pastor Cal. He's like, oh wait, my mom did this to my dad. I didn't like this. Oh my God, Lindsay's doing that to me. I don't like this. And Lindsay, she's definitely tried to clean up whatever happened with her and her mom because she was like, my dad divorced my mom 4 years ago and now we don't talk. So your mama spent 30 years talking to you and then all of a sudden she just stopped talking to you. Something happened. And it was something big that happened. So like you have to sit back and address that, whether it's to self and mom or in therapy or whatever it is, but you can't just sweep me and my mom were okay, mom divorced dad, now we don't talk to each other, because that doesn't make sense to me. But one of the things that I remembered during their conversation was not Pastor Cal, Dr. Pepper asked Lindsay to ask Mark, can he walk away from disagreements before they boil over? And I'm trying to understand why that's his job. Because remember at the bowling alley, he tried to walk away from the disagreement in the moment before it started boiling over. And she was like, go call your mama. So she was going to make this boil over. And he tried to still walk away. Why is it why is it his job to not have her boil over? Why can't she be in control of herself to not make things boil over? I think that we can say a lot about Lindsay. We can say a lot about Mark. But that's one of those things that Lindsay's going to have to learn how to control. And nobody can do that for her. Her husband can't do that for her. Her dad can't help her fix it. She's going to have to figure that out on her own, because the majority of these arguments are like her starting out, him having a rebuttal, and her like, you not gonna one up me. I'm gonna hit you where it hurts. And it's not his job to be like her emotional punching bag, because he got enough stuff going on in his life. Like, I don't really know, the details surrounding his job feel real shady anyways. Like, you can come back to work after you get done filming. I don't know. I'm gonna let that go. But like, I don't have anywhere to live. Okay, I can see that. But at this point, we got 2 weeks left. Either we're gonna be together or I'm gonna be spending every day trying to figure out how I can find a job so I can have enough check stubs so that I can go give me a place to live. Because that is the most important thing to me right now, is at the end of this process, being able to be clear and done of you and whatever you got going on in your life. But I just couldn't take that type of emotional abuse from her. especially on a day-to-day basis, because it becomes too much. It's like whatever he says, she's got to knock him down 3 notches about his life. And it's like nobody wants to hear every day. That's why you ain't got a job. That's why you can't stay with your mama. That's why, like, nobody wants to hear that. Like, not condoning violence, but he probably would have got a Will Smith, Chris Rock slap that day. Like, I mean, she would have got one, because it's just like, what are you doing? Like, stop. Stop. It's annoying at this point. That's all I have. You got anything else?
No.
Go ahead, Chloe.
So here's the thing, right? I really feel like Mark and Lindsey need the most help, and you could tell through their sessions that is everything about them is deeper than what we're seeing. Is nothing is what we're seeing. What we're seeing them exhibit has nothing to do with each other. Let's say that. I really feel like Lindsey, based on everything that I've been seeing, is she's depending on Mark to make her happy. She came into this thinking that getting married was going to make her feel happy and complete. When you can't nobody do that for you but you. She's dependent on Mark to give her a sense of fulfillment, completeness, or something more than that she didn't come in with, which is why she's always crying and nagging. He's pulling away, this, that, and the other, because she's looking for someone to complete her. She's looking for him to be her happiness. Even when she said it herself, like, I always feel sad, she's literally crying out for him to make her happy. And that's not going to be healthy in any type of relationship, because he himself is detaching from her because she's so clingy, and he's realizing, like, this ain't got nothing to do with me, sis. You got real issues going on inside you. Ain't that much happiness I can give you. So he's getting exhausted by it. Mark has issues too. They have real deep inserted issues that they. Now, I know people say, oh, why you keep saying people need therapy? I get it. You can love and need therapy. You can be in love and have therapy. But they have not done any individual work on themselves to be complete enough to be with someone, to be able to support each other in the process. He can't support her because God knows he got his own things going on outside of his own mental issues, as far as real issues. And she has a lot of mental issues that he does not have the capacity to be able to even address at the moment, because he's dealing with his own ish, especially what was going on outside of the world. And internally, like Tommy said, he didn't even know he had mama issues. He doesn't even recognize the fact that he has those issues. And coming from someone who had some type of father issues, you don't know it until you get in those dynamic relationships, where my husband would say, you got daddy issues. And I'm like, what you talking about? I ain't got no daddy issues. I was fine. And so, like, someone, like, you know what I mean? Like, he pointed out, like, something, yeah, you got issues. Same thing. And I know, and I saw it because I've been that person where you depend on someone else to make you happy. And that is what she's doing, which is why whenever he decides, oh, I'm going to get a job. Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm going to get a job. I'm not going to sit here and just be up under you all day. I need to get things situated. Oh, Mark was being really good to me yesterday, but now today he's not talking to me at all. Everything is centered around what Mark is doing. Where is your identity, Lindsey? Mark can't make you happy. Period. Point blank. Until she realized that, they will never be able to be in a solid relationship. Forget the fighting, forget the arguing, forget everything like that, because she's going to always be looking for him to give her something he can't. And that's all.
While you're there, Chloe, what I wanted to say is, not only does he have mommy issues, I think he realized that, oh my God, I don't want to be like my dad. Because it was like mom be fussing at him and dad would just be like, shh. He was like, I'm not going to be my dad. You're not going to talk to me any kind of way. You know, because she said he be giving it to her off of camera more than we see. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't blame him. He's like, I watched my dad, like we said with Katina, I watched my dad shrink when my mom would be going off and wilding on him. And I don't want to be like my dad. In that moment, it hit him was like, oh shoot. When she was like, well, what did your dad do? He would just take it or walk away or not say nothing. And Mark was like, I don't want to do that. And so I agree with Artika too. It is not just on Mark when him and Lindsey get into it to be the person to shut it down. She has the opportunity to grow up and be like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe I should just keep my mouth closed. Let me just walk away because I know I can be reckless with my mouth. Let me not do that. It's not just up to Mark. I feel sorry. I feel sorry for Lindsey. Of course they put it in perspective. You have to understand, Lindsey's background or whatever. Artika, I agree. Something happened with her and her mom. Something blew up for why they not talking to each other. Something happened. I'm not blaming, and I ain't gonna blame it on Lindsey. They probably both had their own part, but something happened. But yeah, unfortunately, sometimes when people are extremely sad and depressed, they lash out. They do. And she doesn't know how to control herself. Like Dr. Pepper said, maybe instead of being mad, you should just be sad sometimes. You should you should just be sad. And not like she does when she those tears that she lets out, not that kind of sad when she be talking to Mark. I feel like you don't see me. I feel like you're not there for me. Not those tears, but I mean just really like Michael did when him and Jasmina talked about what happened in his family when she need one of those cleansing cries. She need a real purge. That's what Lindsey needs. But they bothered me. Their interactions bother me so bad. It bothers me so bad. They need so much help. But I think we're gonna be surprised at them. Like Jamie and Beth stayed together, like Stephanie and AJ stayed together. I think I can see them doing that. I really can. And it wouldn't be in Mark's best interest at all. But here's Glenn.
Yeah, one thing I say about uses her crying as manipulation. She uses her crying as manipulation to make people feel sorry for her and to feel bad for her because she always wants to be the victim, right? It's always somebody else's fault. She always played a victim in every situation, even with the Olajuwon situation. Oh, he yelled at me. Nah, you was calling this black dude out of his name, and you're not the victim here, right? But she likes playing the victim, and so you can't be the victim in every situation. And so even with her mom, I think there's a lot of issues that's there. But with Mark, I think some of the issues that Mark has, one, Mark is not confrontational at all, right? He doesn't like confrontation. So therefore, when she gives him a little bit of confrontation, he's just going to go into a shell as a turtle. So you can't fight with somebody who's in the shell, or you can't even get things fixed with somebody that's in the shell. He's trying to get things fixed and solved, right? He doesn't communicate. When he does communicate, the way that he communicates is kind of pointing the finger at her, but then she feel like you blowing me off because you're not loving me, and she got a false sense of you need to woo me all the time and don't talk to me like that. Well, we got issues that we need to resolve. How can I woo you if there's a problem? How can I give you little shark, the shark, if there's a problem? Because I don't feel like giving you the shark right now because there's a problem. Matter of fact, when I look at you, the shark don't even get happy, right? So it's those type of things that she got to deal with, and those type of things that he has a problem with. And she has to understand that it's a give and take. In this relationship with those two, they got issues they need to fix. And before they can go even further, both of them need counseling. They're looking for a savior, and neither one of them can save each other, right? He can't save her. She can't save him. And can we work this thing? She definitely can't save him. Like you said, Chloe, this brother got everything. If anything could go wrong in his life, it went wrong when Married at First Sight came on, right? Because his house, his house, his job, his finances. He got a little bit of money from the show right now. He got at least half of the money from the show. Go get whatever. But he has to start over. And he's in his mind, do I want to start over with Lindsey? Or do I really want to start over by myself? And she has to understand that too. That's the decision he's making. Like when we start over, we're gonna have to start over like from scratch because I can't go to his spot. He can't go to my little shack. We're gonna have to do this thing together, or one of us gotta go. Because this relationship is very up and down, is roller coaster. So there has to be some type of even ground And even Kill, these two have to get together. But as my wife said, I do think that they probably won't get anything together, and they still will say yes on decision day because they feel like she needs to save him, and he feel like he can't abandon her because look at all the women who's treated him bad in his life. He still take care of them, right? His mama treated him bad and did that. Because he said his mama talked bad about his mama. He still takes care of her. He feel like he's obligated to take care of her. The landlord who's treated him bad, he still talks to her and still engages with her. So Mark has this thing that when people treat me bad, I'm still going to take care of them because they feel like they need me, and he feel like Lindsey needs him. And Lindsey likes projects, and Mark to her is another project. Think about this real quick. Lindsey's own family was happy to get rid of her. His dad was like, "Yo, have you ever wrestled a crocodile? Good. That crocodile yours now. It's not mine no more. She can come to you, not me. So guess what, bruh? Congratulations. I'm glad you got it because she got so many issues and so many problems. It is this relationship needs help before they hurt each other because they're gonna say things and see. And this is the sad thing about Lindsey. She always, if you really read the underlining about her, she thinks sex and love kills everything. Her biggest issue is he's not sexing me or he's not holding me. Not that fact. She needs to be asking a question: why isn't he sexing me? Why isn't he holding me? And guess what? Mad sex doesn't fix the problem because when sex is over, the problem is still gonna be
You're
there.
gonna be mad.
And so what you're gonna do? Keep having sex because every time y'all mad, it can't. And you don't want to bring children into that situation if y'all decide to stay together because that's not a good relationship because then your child is going to end up just like you and Mark. So that's some things that they need to work on, and hopefully they do work on it. Um, so yeah, they need help. I don't think they should stay together, but I do think they will. You guys, closing thoughts or anything else you have on Mark and Lindsay?
I was just gonna say that I honestly think that they are good for each other. Because they could be sympathetic to what each other needs, and I think they're both willing to provide that, and we need that from our partners. But because they wasn't able to, they haven't resolved those issues within themselves, or not even realize they had those issues, just self reflecting now that they have to do the work individually first. But I honestly think that once they get to some type of like stability within themselves, they actually can be really good for each other because what Mark brings to Lindsey is calmness. What Lindsey brings to Mark is excitement or whatever you want to call it. They're good. They're a good match. They just have they don't know how to express their feelings and emotions because they don't know how to identify them. And they're not being really open and honest with what they're actually feeling. They're sugarcoating it around this marriage. And the marriage isn't what they're feeling. These emotions that they're having is not about the marriage because nothing has happened in this marriage to really affect them this way. The only thing, they're just dealing off of high emotions from just internal stuff. Like that's why he always need to go walk away. And then as soon as he go walk away, she having a nervous breakdown because he don't went to walk away. Like he just went for a walk today. Like she like, he don't love me no more. He don't love me no more. Like, girl, no, he just went for a walk. Let the man go for a walk. So I think that once they realize their own issues and begin to work on them, then they will be able to, be good for each other, I think. Somewhat. That's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I really don't have no closing thoughts for them, man, because I don't think they're gonna work out. You know, I think they just need to say no, call their losses and move on. Just because it's like I think after this they'll realize, hey, I need to work on me some more, and it's hard to work on you while trying to get to know somebody else. So like most of the time we go into marriage understanding who we are as a person at that time, and then we work on the growth together versus trying to understand who I am at the time and also trying to understand who my partner is at the same time.
And both of us need to change something.
Right. To just be a better human being. And it's hard to do. It's damn near impossible, because we are as human beings are so fragile, and I'm in our like our being is so fragile, and dealing with a delicate thing like that, you want to be extra careful, and it's just hard. It's just a tough time. So, um, yeah, that's what I got on them. Are we closing thoughts for everybody or just them?
For everybody.
Close thoughts. Close.
Say it again. I ain't hear. But I'm gonna give my closing thoughts on everybody.
Go ahead. Just go ahead. Go with it.
Uh, I think Michael and Jasmina. I'm not really sure. Like, I hope they make it. You know what I'm saying? They still got some things they got to work on, but I hope they make it. I hope they're fine. Um, if only they could have a relationship where hugs were involved, kisses were involved,
Yeah.
holding hands were involved. If they could have a relationship like that, I think we wouldn't have the conversations that we have about this. The unsureness of if Jasmina likes him or not, and we know he likes her, but just uh his confidence in the fact that they're together, because I think that lacks too. Like, it's almost like he's at a disbelief that they're together type
Mhm.
of deal. So that part. Who else is it? Noy and Steve. She just got to get out of her own way. She has to grow up. Two, she has to be able to have the conversation. Literally, she needs to sit down with Steve and say, "Hey, this bothers me. This is why this bothers me.
She won't.
How can we fix this?" If you sit down and simply have that honest conversation, one with yourself and then two with him, I
Mhm.
think you'll be okay.
He gonna hit her with the "This is my bank account."
Right. That's all. That honestly, I think she would STF if he just if he said this is what my bank account is.
No, no, no. I meant like how she was like, "It's my social media." He'd be like, "It's my bank account." I'll tell you
I wouldn't think of that, but okay, okay, I got
You
you.
see,
But even in that sense, man, just have that conversation, and it's like with Steve. I don't want to say Steve's perfect, but I feel like Steve's issues are from the lack of from her. You know what I'm saying? So, who else is it? Alyssa and Chris. I don't think they're
Mm-mm.
gonna make it.
Really,
Just had to throw that out there. Who?
Olajuwon and
Olajuwon and
Katina.
Katina. Katina just her voice is gone. She's like the Little Mermaid. She needs to get her voice back. So, and Olajuwon needs to be able to listen to people that aren't authority or people that he doesn't think are authority figures to him. Because that I think that's what the issue is. If you're not a authority, he's the main person that be in the argument and be like, "You ain't my mama," you know, type of deal. So it's like I think he just needs to be able to take direction from somebody that's not an authority figure to him. And I think, also working with a few other things, I think they'll be okay. I hope they don't say yes on decision day because Katina, like, imagine a life where you seem to be a small figure in your relationship or you wasn't equal. You know what I'm saying? Imagine a life where you're living in a relationship where you have a 40% voice, where it's 60% going to the other person basically to lead your life. So I don't think that's fair or right. So I'm hoping she says no, but I think they say yes on decision day. And you know, I think that's everybody, right?
Yep.
Oh, and I'm the truth on the grill, man. I've just got to put that out there too.
Hey, We all got to come down to Atlanta, Tommy.
Y'all
We
got
all
to,
coming to
man. As
Atlanta.
soon as you come,
You
just
get a
let
couple
me
of trips.
know, and I'm gonna get it ready, man.
I don't really have that many closing statements for none of these people. Honestly, at this point, I just feel like I'm tired of Noy. I'm tired of Olajuwon. I'm tired of Lindsey. I'm tired of Mark. Katina, I feel so bad for her. Jasmina and Michael, they'll be all right if they stay together or separate altogether. Either way, they're gonna be fine because they didn't lose much and they didn't gain much either. So at the end of the day, they didn't have a bad experience, but they didn't have a great experience. So for them too, I think they could walk away neutral on the playing fields, like dab you up in the street and keep it moving. But I'm really these people. These people drain me. They really just drain me. I feel bad for Katina. I you know what I noticed? No, and I meant to say this before. I really feel like if the experts did what they do when they are, going through this vetting process, if they start asking some of these questions and dig deep into these people, how they did this episode, especially with Lindsey and Mark, a lot of this could have been avoided. And now you would think that they did this, right? You would think that you go into these backgrounds and you do all these tests and you do all this vetting so you could get the right people for the right people. You would think that they would know some of this background story from them. Like this should not be the first time that you match somebody who have real solid issues, who just said that they're sad all the time and you wasn't able to get that out of them in a whole process of vetting them for marriage. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't hide that but for so long. Lindsay's done been showing us something been wrong with her from the beginning, and we just now getting down to the root of it. What, 6 weeks in? If you would have did if you really would have did these psychological tests, vetting these people, having these deep conversations, really asking about their childhood, Mark and Lindsay was willing to just give you all their business. They didn't even have to dig deep to get it out. They literally just start asking questions. They were just giving it out and helping them see it because that's their job as therapists, right? So I feel like if they would have done this in the beginning, some of this stuff could have been avoided. Like some of these couples mixed matching, some of the abuse we're seeing, some of the hurt, some of the trauma, a lot of the things that these people are dealing with, we wouldn't have to experience this on national television. Just my opinion. That's it.
I totally agree. I remember the statement. I can't remember who Pastor Cal was talking to. He was like, if y'all would have known this, if y'all was dating, y'all wouldn't be together. Well, why do you expect them to be together if they married? If they wouldn't have been together dating, right? I can't remember what couple it was. One of y'all in the chat helped me out. I can't remember which couple he was talking to. Like, if this issue is y'all wouldn't have been dating. So you expect these guys to stay married? Chloe, excellent point, man. I think they don't go deep enough. And I said it on the panel a couple of weeks ago. I think they need to talk to family members before they put them on the show. They need to realize what the issue is so they can come on. I know they need drama and they need us to talk about them. But I think some of these people, when they leave this process, are more hurt before they came on the process. You're just adding something else to your plate that you didn't have before. You're adding a divorce, or you're having a volatile relationship that you didn't have before to this thing. And you putting your life in the public eye for us to judge and to talk about. So counseling is definitely needed for some of these couples. Olajuwon and Katina definitely need help. Jasmine and Michael just need to touch each other. I think they touch each other, they be fine. Just touch each other. Just touch each other. It's okay. All right, you men and women. Men and women touch, right? Just touch each other. It's fine. Put lotion on her. I don't care. If she asks you, hey, wait, when she get out of the shower, have a towel waiting for her. Something, right? Just do something. Mark and Lindsay, I can see why they can work, but I just think right now they're not in a place to work with each other. They got to get out of each other's way. They got to get out of each other's way, fix each other before they can get together with each other. Knowing Steve, at this point, knowing just be happy the fact that your guy can take care and pay the bills, right? If he can pay the bills, don't ask questions. I was watching some show. I might have been a Steve Harvey show or something. And the lady said, I don't know what my husband did for 20 years. All I know is the bills are paid, right? And Steve was like, yo, he's a drug dealer. He just ain't tell you yet. But if Steve's paying all the bills and taking care of everything, guess what? Relax. Just know that your life is going to be taken care of. And when you have those 3 kids, guess what? You're not gonna have to work because he's gonna put you in a situation where you can stay at home with 3 kids, and he might be able to stay at home with you because the money is coming in.
Oh, she'd be mad then.
All right, because the money is coming in, and now you have help with kids.
She'd be
That's
mad.
life.
Because if he went to a 95, yeah, you went to 95 and you got 3 kids, you're gonna wish Steve was at home. I'm just saying. But that's all we got for this couples. I'm gonna let Jack close us out. You got
I'm
anything?
good.
Oh, she said she's good. She said she's good. But I thank you guys for joining us. People in the chat, y'all jumping as usual. The chat is off the charts tonight. Good conversation, good questions, good insight in the chat as well. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you follow August Love Story. Make sure you follow Chloe Johnson if you're not. Make sure you join their memberships. Make sure every time they kick something live, you go ahead and go to the super chat. Go ahead and bless them a little bit. And make sure you get follow Talisa Ray as well. Also, go to TalisaRay.com. Her journal is out, so you can go buy her journal. So make sure you go to TalisaRay.com. The journal is up. We got ours, so make sure you go get yours. We order ours. We don't have it yet. We ordered it. So make sure you go order yours as well. But that's TalisaRay.com. The journal is out. Hey, appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank y'all for joining us. Anything else from Chloe and August Love Story before we get out of here?
I'm done.
Everybody's good?
Yeah.
Everybody's good. Everybody's done. And enjoy your week. Enjoy your week. And have fun. Talk to you guys later. Bye.